Naya Rivera's son Josie tried to throw her a rope the day she drowned. His dad Ryan Dorsey reveals what stopped him. Naya Rivera's ex Ryan Dorsey is sharing a heartbreaking new detail about the day the Glee star died at 33 on July 8, 2020. Dorsey says Josie, who was only 4 at the time, also remembers that it was windy that day, and he describes being worried about getting into the water, but his mom told him, "Don't be silly." After some time swimming, Rivera noticed the boat, which hadn't been equipped with an anchor or flotation devices, points that Dorsey included in the wrongful death lawsuit he filed on behalf of Josie against Ventura County that was settled in 2022, was drifting. She told Josie to swim back, and he remembers grabbing the tanks and pulling himself around the boat. Says Dorsey, he said that the last thing she said was his name, and then she went under, and he didn't see her anymore, Dorsey says. Dorsey found out that Rivera was missing from a call from her mom Yolanda's husband. At the time, he was in a Ralph's supermarket in Big Bear Lake, California, getting food for a friend's birthday barbecue. "I collapsed into a pallet of drinks," Dorsey recalls. "I feared the worst." He immediately got into his car and sped the 145 miles to Lake Piru. Josie had been found asleep and alone on an adrift pontoon boat that Rivera had rented 3 hours earlier that day. "If we'd have lost both Naya and Josie, I don't know how I would continue on with my life," Dorsey says. "I don't know what I would have done, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been good." After 5 days of searching, Rivera's body was found on July 13th in a remote part of the lake. "When it happened, I just found myself shaking my head like, I can't believe she's gone," Dorsey says. "It's still so surreal every day as he and Josie navigate life without Rivera." Dorsey, who moved from LA to his home state of West Virginia with his son 2 years ago, admits the holidays are still especially tough. "We made this book of memories for Josie that sits by his bed, and during the holidays he was crying looking at it," Dorsey says. "You can only give him a hug and tell him, I know, life is not fair. Bad things happen and there's no reason for it. And you just have to do your best to be a good person. It's hard trying to explain things that you can't really make sense of no matter what age you are." He continues, "I'm not a big believer in everything happens for a reason, because I can't ever think of a reason why he doesn't have his mom. While they certainly still have their hard moments." Dorsey says Josie is such a happy kid. "He wakes up happy, all energy," he says. "I'm trying to be the best parent that I can be and raise a good little man. He gives me a reason to keep going with my life."